Alright, so read the questions. So what's the first sentence? What's the first sentence told you?
There's two x-intercepts.
So how many straight lines that we have? Two straight lines. So L1 and L2, and what's the x-intercept?
8 and 15.
So we have the L1's x-intercept is 8. So x-intercept of L1 is 8. And then for L2 is 16. So you can say from the first sentence we have, you just copy down the first sentence, okay? The x-intercept of L1, L2 are 8 and 16. So which means that L1 passes through which point? X-intercept means that the coordinates is going to be something 0, isn't it? So for example, if this is the x-intercept, this is the x-intercept, then this is going to be 0, x0, isn't it? So the coordinates is going to be x0. So just remember that for x-intercept, it means y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. Remember this? So that L1 is passing through which point? You can have here the x-intercept of L1 is 8. So that's the L1 is passes through the point 8, 0. And then L2 passes through which point? 16, 0. So that's from the first sentence. We have this two data, isn't it? So that's our first sentence. Then from the second sentence, what's the second sentence told you? So the y-intercept of L1 and L2 are 2 and 4. So you can say the y-intercept of L1, L2 are 2 and 4. So y-intercept means that what is equal to 0? X is equal to 0. Okay? Then which means that L1 passes through which point? 0, 2. 0, 2. And L2 passes through 0, 4. So those are the points that you have already, isn't it? So for the third sentence, we have let P be the moving point in the rectangular coordinate plane such that the perpendicular distance from P to L1 is equal to the perpendicular distance from P to L2. So for example, if I have two straight lines, then where can the P be? In the middle, isn't it? So P must be here, but here as well. So that can be your locus. Is this okay? So what's the geometric relationship between the top and L1?
Parallel.
They are parallel. Okay, if you just write perpendicular bisector, means you didn't read the questions at all. You just copy down from the last set of the papers. So I'm asking you to read the questions sentence by sentence, and then to conclude, what can you have? Okay, all of this, you don't need to write it down. But that's suppose when you're reading the questions, you're supposed to understand. Okay, but seems that none of you understand it, and I help you to understand it. Okay? So from here, we have two straight lines, and we have two x-intercepts. So how you draw the x-intercept? So what's the two x-intercept that we have? 8 and 16. So where is it? So the x-intercept means that's course the x-axis or the y-axis? The x-axis. So the x-intercept of 8 and 0. If this part is 8, then the 16 must be doubled of this side, isn't it? So 16 must be here. So let's say this is 8, and this is 16. Okay, that's from the first sentence that we have the x-intercept is 8, 0, and 16, 0. And this point is for L1, this point is for L2. And then from the second sentence, we have the y-intercept. L1 passes through 0, 2. So where is 0, 2? It's on the y-axis. So if this is 0, 2, then where is 0, 4? It's double of this, isn't it? So this is going to be 0, 2, and this is going to be 0, 4. This point is for L1, this point is for L2. So L1 passes through 0, 2, and also passes through 8, 0. Then what can we do? What we're going to do? We can draw a straight line to connect these 2 points, isn't it? Then this line is the name of, what's the name of this line? If you don't have a ruler, take a pen. Okay, take a pen, and then you put it stable. It's also a straight line. Okay? You got your pen here. You can treat it as a ruler as well. So this line is L1, and this line is L2. So where can you draw the torque? In the middle of L1 and L2, isn't it? So that's gonna be a dotted line like this. So this is going to be your torque. Okay? So even that you may not know how to do the whole questions, but at least you need to practice how to draw the diagrams yourself. Or else how you're going to understand what the question is talking about. Then you just tell me that I don't know how to do it, and they blank the whole thing. Every single time. You just blank the whole page. It's that I don't know how to do it. But did you try? So now we can say that the L1 and the torque is actually the parallel. Until this part, is this okay? Alright, so let's read the next parts. So for part B, we have done part A, isn't it? We have done part A. Then trying to see part B. So suppose that the torque cuts the x-axis at point A. So where is point A? Savannah, where is point A? The question told you the torque. What is the torque? The straight line. Okay, the torque cut the x-axis at point A, y-axis at point B. So where is point A and point B? You look at your own graph. Where is point A? Where is point B? This is our torque. And where is the x-axis? The horizontal line or the vertical line? The horizontal line. So where does the torque cut the x-axis? That's the intersection between of these two lines, isn't it? So we can say this point we're calling as point A. Okay? And where the torque cut the y-axis, which means that the intersection between the torque and the y-axis, which is this point. So this point's name is going to be B. So do you know how to find out the coordinates of B and the coordinates of A? How you find it out? It's the midpoint. So again, Ria, what is the midpoint formula? What is the midpoint formula? What's the meaning of the middle? For example, I have $2, you have $10. What's the middle of dollar? What's the middle of us? How you find the mean of it? How you divide by 2? You plus them or you minus? You plus them and then divide by 2. So the midpoint is the middle of the 2 points, isn't it? So you use plus or minus? Plus. So it's going to be x1 plus x2 divided by 2. y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay? So the next page, from the first sentence, of part B, the talk cut the x-axis and y-axis at A and B. Just write it yourself. And then from the graph, we can see from that the A is the midpoint between which 2 points? A is the midpoint between which 2 points? A is the midpoint between 8, 0 and 16, 0. Then I can write it down. So it's between 8, 0 together with 16, 0. Then we apply the midpoint formula so that the coordinates of A is going to be, you're adding up the 8 and 12 and 16, so you get 12, and then 0 just 0. So similarly, point B is the midpoint between which 2 points? 0, 2 and 0, 4. So it's between 0, 2 and 0, 4. So by using the midpoint formula again, then we can say the coordinates of B is going to be 0, 3. So if we have 2 points, then the slope, how you calculate the slope? What is the slope formula? No. y2 over y1 divided by x2 minus x1. The change of y divided by the change of x, isn't it? Okay? So now we have these 2 points. It passes through by torque, isn't it? So the slope of the torque is going to be, what is the slope? How you calculate the slope? 0 minus 3 over by 12 minus 0. So that's giving you negative 3 over 12. Simplify, you have this is equal to negative 1 over 4. So for a strict line equation, what is the format of a strict line equation? Y equal to mx plus c. What's the meaning of this n? That's the slope. And what is the c? Y-intercept. Do we have the slope? We have the slope. Do we have the y-intercept? From the graph, what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept just point B, isn't it? So that's going to be 0, 3. So the y-intercept is just 3. So that the equation of the torque is going to be y equal to mx plus c. M is negative 1 over 4x plus c, which is 3. So that's your final answer. Understand? If you can draw the graph yourself, then you can actually get what you need to write. So I give 2 questions in the next page. You can practice at home. So draw the graph first. At least tell me how you think. Don't just blank it. Okay? If you keep blanking my homework, then can you improve? If you don't think, then how you improve, isn't it? Okay? So for part B, 2, express the area of C in terms of pi. So let's read the second sentence. Let C be the circle passing through A, B, and O. So the second sentence told you the circle C passes through which 3 points? Passes through A, B, and O. Remember where is A? A is on the x-axis or on the y-axis? X-axis. So this is going to be your A. What is the coordinates here? 12, 0. And then what is the coordinates of B? 0, 3. And where is O? O is the 0, 0. Then you can draw a circle, isn't it? You can draw a circle directly by yourself. You don't need to be perfect. Mine is not perfect. Doesn't look like a circle at all, but just a graph. Okay? So can you see an angle is equal to 90 degrees?
Yeah.
Or Mark, which angle is 90 degrees? Angle. Angle is 3 letters. Dot, dot, dot. BOA. So angle BOA. BOA is equal to 90 degrees, isn't it? So this is 90 degrees. If this is 90 degrees, then what is AB? So Sandip, if angle BOA is equal to 90 degrees, then what is AB?
AB is
Do you remember this theorem? If AB is the diameter, then any point on the circle connected with this AB is going to be how many degrees? It's going to be 90 degrees, isn't it?
AB is diameter.
So that AB is the diameter. So that AB is the diameter of the circle C. So circle C's formula is area of the circle C is going to be, how you find out the circle's area? Pi r squared. Pi r squared. The AB, the length of AB is equal to, how you find the length of AB? What is the distance formula? So you can write it here again. Distance formula. Gabby, what is the distance formula? What is distance formula? The difference between the x, you take the square, plus the difference of the y, you take the square, and then you take the square roots. This is the distance formula between 2 points. So what is the length of AB? x1 minus x2 plus x2 minus x1. So we have 12 minus 0 squared plus 3 minus 0 squared, and take the square roots. This is going to giving you what's the answer for this one? 153. So the length of AB is equal to square root 153. This is the diameter, isn't it? So that the radius is equal to square root 153 divided by 2. Then so that's the area is equal to pi r squared, which is equal to pi times square root 153 over 2 squared. Then this is going to giving you square root. The square of a square root is giving you nothing, isn't it? So just 153 divided by 2 squared, because the square is going to distribute it to both of the numerator and the denominator. So that divided by 2 squared, so it's going to be 4. So 153 over 4 pi, and the unit is going to be, the unit is going to be cm squared. Okay? So So did you learn the format of how to draw the diagrams? Okay, now you understand? Jimmy, you know how to draw the diagrams now? At least draw clear diagrams to help you understand the whole questions. Okay? Gabby, can you have the ability, Ria? Can you have the ability to draw the diagrams yourself now? Okay, so at least try to draw it out. Or every single time just me draw the diagrams, not you draw the diagrams. Okay? So I prepared 2 more questions for you to do. It's not exactly the same. There's some change. Okay, so try to do it yourself. So read the question carefully. This is equidistance. P is equidistance from A and B. So think about how you're going to draw the diagrams yourself, okay? I'm going to teach you 1 more question today. So turn to the next page, the polynomial part. So let's read the sentence by sentence. What's the first sentence told you? So the first sentence is going to be the polynomial fx is divisible by 2x plus 3. And then we have the second sentence when fx is divided by the whole thing. The quotient and the remainder are 4x minus 8 and 17x plus 29. Then now they ask you to find the c. So what we're going to do? So from the second sentence, we have, so fx is divided by the whole thing here. So what's the name of fx? It's the dividend. We have the dividend. We don't have the dividend. But what is the px plus c? What is the name of it? That's the divisor. And then the 4x minus 8 is the quotient. And the last one, 17x plus 29 is the remainder. So from the second sentence, we actually get the divisor, we have the quotient, together we have the remainder. Then why don't you use the relationship that the f is equal to d times q plus r, isn't it? Okay, so what's the fx can be written as?
Times s squared plus c times.
Yes, you're using the divisor, which is x squared plus cx plus c to times 4x minus 8, and then you plus 17x plus 29. Then now is your time to expand the bracket. So how we expand the bracket? Savannah, how we expand the bracket? We use this 4x to times all of the terms, isn't it? Okay? And then we use this negative 8 to times all of the terms as well. Is this okay? So first of all, x squared times 4x giving you 4x cubed. And then 4x times cx giving you,
4cx squared.
so 4cx squared. Just combine the things together, so plus 4cx squared. Then we have 4x times c, which is 4cx. Okay? So now I have done all of the blue arrows, then I can try to do the green arrows. So negative 8 times x squared giving you
Negative 8x squared.
negative 8x squared. So where you put it here. Negative 8x squared. Can you just put it here?
Put it down.
You put it down, it's better for yourself, isn't it? Put it here. So you align the x squared terms. You align the x squared term. So similarly, what is negative 8 times cx?
Negative 8 cx.
So it's going to be
Negative 8 c.
negative 8cx. And then after that, I have negative 8 times c giving you.
Minus 8c.
So I write it here or write it here?
There. The right.
The right one, because there's no x. So I write down negative 8c. But don't forget that we still have this remainder should be plus. So we need to change the remainder.
No?
So we just put it here. So 17x is just the x term, so I put it here as well. So plus 17x, and then you plus 29. So this is the whole group, the group with the x.
Yeah.
And then we have the group of the constants. Okay? Is this clear how you expand the bracket?
Yeah.
So collecting the similar terms, I have 4x cubed. How you combine these two, Ria?
4c equals negative
4c.
4c, how you combine them. This is an expression, not equation.
4c equals minus 8.
You just combine these two together.
Oh.
4c minus 8. 4c minus 8 x squared. You can't say they are equal because this is the whole fx, the whole expression, remembered? And then I combine the yellow parts, then we have
Minus 4c minus 8c plus 17.
but 4c minus 8c just giving you
Minus 4c.
minus 4c, so 17 minus 4c. So you plus 17 minus 4cx plus 8c plus 29, isn't it? So plus 29 minus 8c. If you can, you keep the positive at the front. It's easier for yourself. Okay? So now this is my final answer. After expanded, this is my f of x. So is this step okay? Then now we go back to the first sentence, the yellow part. The polynomial fx is divisible by 2x plus 3. So what can you conclude, Zenith? What can you say from this sentence?
2x plus what?
The polynomial fx is divisible by 2x plus 3. Then what can you do?
X equals to minus 3 over 2.
So you can set the x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Then the f of negative 3 over 2 is equal to f of negative 3 over 2 by using the factor theorem, remembered? Is equal to 0. Now what's the meaning of f of negative 3 over 2?
The x is replaced by
X is replaced by negative 3 over 2. So we have 4 times negative 3 over 2 squared plus 4c minus 8 times negative 3 over 2 squared. And then you plus 17 minus 4c negative 3 over 2 plus, you copy down the rest, isn't it? The whole thing should be equal to 0. Then can you solve this equation by yourself?
Equal to 4.
So after you solve the whole equations, we have the c is equal to 4. Anyone have no idea how to solve this equation? Ria, can you solve this equation yourself? Okay, so now we get the c is equal to 4. Then from the sentence again, from the first sentence again, fx is divisible by what? By 2x plus 3. So which means that fx can be written as something times something, isn't it? So it can be written as 2x plus 3 times another formula, another quadratic formula. Then how are we gonna get the whole thing here? What is our fx? What is the fx?
The equation.
Remember the fx is here. This is the whole fx, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then we can now we get a value of c, so we can replace the c. So that we have fx is equal to 4x cubed plus 4c minus a is giving you, what's the c?
4.
4 times 4 minus a is giving you
8.
8x squared, and then 17 minus 4c giving you
1.
So it's just giving you 1. So plus x. And then 29 minus 8c giving you minus 3. Now I want to change this formula into 2x plus 3 times another quadratic equation. Then which formula I need to use? It's definitely the quadratic, but you're using this divided by this. So what you need to do? For example, if I have 636 is equal to 4 times another something. 36 is equal to 4 times something. How you get this something?
Division.
You're using the division. So that we can using the short division, remember?
Yeah.
So I have 4, 8, 1, negative 3. And then what is the number here into put?
2.
What is the number into put here? Negative 3 over 2. Alright, so you remember this way, Sandip. This is the constant. You swap the sign of the constant, and then you divide it by the number in front of the x. So for example, 3x minus 6. What's the number I need to put? You reverse the sign here, becomes 6 over 3. Then how about 4x minus plus 7? What's the number you need to put?
Minus 7.
Minus 7 over 4. Okay, remember how to do the short division?
Put it down.
Put it down, becomes 4. And then times it, giving you minus 6. So plus together giving you 2. And then we have negative 3, negative 2. So finally I have this is equal to 3, and then we have 0. Am I finished?
No.
So if the number in front of the x is not 1, you need to divide by that number as well, remembered? So if this is 2, 1, negative 1. So this means the quadratic equation is going to be 2x squared plus x minus 1. Zenlith, okay? Did you write it down? So if we consider the fx equal to 0, which means that this two things times together is equal to 0, isn't it? So I have 2x plus 3 times 2x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. When two things times together equal to 0, then which means both of them should be equal to 0.
Yeah.
Or 2x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is giving you, if 2x plus 3 equal to 0, then x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Then this is what formula?
Right.
Then using formula 01, then what you're going to have?
0.5.
Or
Negative.
negative 1. So the question is asking how many rational roots? So how many rational roots that we have? 3. 0.5 is equal to 1 over 2. Is the negative 1 a rational numbers? All the integers are rational, isn't it? So that we have 3 rational roots. Okay?